Who have you heard from that like seemed the saddest? I mean, I know a lot of them too.
Um,
I haven't really
oh, you
spoken
mean
to anyone.
that it hasn't?
Yeah, like between like
I
Stephanie
mean,
and
I
Brandy,
don't
like who seemed legitimately the
feel
saddest to
like
you?
mm, I haven't talked to Brandy. We've just been texting, so I haven't gotten a vibe off of her. Um, Stephanie was fine. She actually said she was relieved. Just because she didn't know how, I guess after last season, how it was gonna continue and where it was gonna go, and just that it wasn't going in a direction that she felt comfortable with. Um, and I think Cam was just kind of like whatever, kind of in shock. I haven't really talked to her much about it, and Cary was just like, you know, meh.
That's
Then,
the rumor that certain people felt relieved as much as some people felt sad.
yeah,
Some people felt relieved.
which I don't blame her. I mean, I think I would have felt if I was in that same situation. It's just a little scary.
Well, I mean, the rumors were that Deandra and Tiffany and Cam were coming back and nobody else was. That was the strong rumor.
Who was it? Deandra, Tiffany, and who?
Cam
Mm-hmm.
and Stephanie,
Yeah, but then it's
Brandy.
like, then how is it? Yeah, I just don't see how that would work because then I mean, Cam and Tiffany just like got nowhere. They just got up shit creek and they never got out of it. Never
Well,
found the never found the way out. So I
they
just
never.
don't. I mean, where are they going to go?
Well, that's the other rumor that they started like testing like Lizzie Savetsky and Madeline Lamb and Manisha
Yeah, I know
Dellinger.
Lizzie. Yeah, they did. I know Lizzie did. Yeah, but I mean, I think it just they couldn't find. Obviously, they tried. I mean, they went through casting for sure, and they tested a lot of people, and I think they just couldn't find the right fit. I think they just couldn't figure out a way out of it. I mean, I think it's really tricky to cast these shows. I mean, think of how much goes into it and how people have to think, and you've got to really like psychoanalyze these people before you cast them and figure out how they're kind of going to react to this, that, and the other. I mean, it's a lot. A lot goes into it.
It's hard. And it's hard when like you look at certain people who are cast and you're like right away, you're like, this is such a bad choice. How? And
Right.
I'm not criticizing Bravo. You're just like, but there's a
Right.
line out the door for these jobs. Like, how out of every person you saw,
Yeah.
this is your
Yeah.
choice? It's
And
so off.
I think so too. And I mean, like a line out the door for these jobs. I can't like I think it's better. And I go back to like when you have the OGs and stuff, like we didn't even know it was Housewives in the beginning. And I assumed that that's what it was gonna be, but I don't know. I think you get in trouble when you start casting people who are like, I just want to be on this because I want to be a housewife and all that and the fame and da-da-da. I mean, then it turns into, I mean, they're just acting and it's not their real life. And I mean, I just think I think that really gets it sideways too. That's my personal opinion, just having been in it. And just, I feel like kind of newer people can be like, you know,
I
sketch.
agree. I think
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's like you want to be on TV more than you're really a natural person who is just discovered.
Right. And what makes a good show is people being themselves and not being on there to be like, oh, I want to go and watch what happens live and I just want to dress up and I just want to do this and do the housewife. Like that shit is boring to watch for the viewer, I think. But I mean, I'm a different subset too. Like, there's obviously different, you know, things that they look for in their viewers and that kind of thing. I'm probably a different viewer than, Joe Schmo down the road. But that's like, in my opinion, and what I want to see real.
I want to see real.
Yeah.
Do you think, because listen, the ratings weren't great ever, but they ended. Do you think, I mean, that is truly the reason it was canceled? Just the ratings, period, the end?
I don't know. I think, those ratings are like those Nielsen ratings from a million years ago. I don't even know if they know what they're looking at with all that. I mean, I obviously do not work for NBC. I have no idea what those execs are seeing in those numbers. I'm sure they have a pretty good idea though. I think the ratings were crap. And I think that again, and I think they could not move forward. I think it was a casting problem. I think they couldn't figure out how to get it back on track. I just don't think like one minor change would have done it. And I think it was too hard to figure out. I think they just didn't have the right pool of people too. and probably couldn't figure out who to fire and who to keep.
And like the group just wasn't gelling, and they're just like, we see the writing on the wall, and the ratings are not great. So I mean, that's not so.
Well, like, you know, it sucks because, like, I mean, I'm friends, you know, Cam, Stephanie, Brandy, Cary, you know, like we all talk and all chat, and it's like, you know, I can see how that would be a good show, but it's like, then you have the other team or whatever that just, they just can't meet in the middle, which is just sucks and is stupid.
Do you think by casting Tiffany, like, do you know Tiffany? Like, do you think she's kind of the one who divided this group?
It sounds like it. Now, I don't know because I was not there and I did not watch it. The only time I have talked to Tiffany at an event, and I called her before the reunion and was like, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" Because my friend is real upset, you know, Cam, and I was like, "You need to." And she was like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go to the reunion. And it's gonna be fine." And you know, we're gonna make up and that kind of thing. I was like, "Well, good, because that's what needs to happen. You guys need to have forward progress." And apparently that's not what happened. So I don't know. I mean, I talked to her. She seemed nice to me. She was lovely to me. But that's what the girl said, is that she can kind of be really nice and then just fly off the handle or be completely different than what you thought.